And good morning and welcome to Touch Space Daily. My name is Ron Foster, and you can see my background is totally different, meaning my house is packing up, meaning getting ready for the paint job tomorrow. Oh, I had to get up early in the morning to get the painting pictures off the wall, clear the shelves, pack everything up into the center of the room. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm tired. I said, and then after this Touch Base Daily, I got to pack up the desk, and that will be it. And a lot of stuff will not go back. Some of the things will just be trashed, and some of the things will just be new. So we'll see how this all pans out. But it's a day by day. For those that are joining, y'all know that I'm in the middle of getting the house painted, getting it ready to sell the apartment. And it's coming along. It's coming along step by step. We're getting closer and closer. And look at this background. Look at this background. Remember all the plants? Remember all the plants I had? Remember all the plants? Well, the plants are no longer here. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my producer. My producer's in the background. My producer says, turn on the chat overlay. It's on. Okay, now it's on. Okay, it should pop up as you guys put stuff in there. Okay, so oh god, it changed the system again. What happens with these reboots? I don't know. There it is. It's on the screen. Anyway, I'm gonna just stick with this bold and big. Hannah says, good morning, Ron, Touch Base Daily family. Good morning. Gwendolyn says, good morning. She gets the silver. Hannah got the gold. And Chris gets the bronze. She says, good morning. And Jazzy's in the building. She says, good morning, beautiful people. How are you all doing? So we're gonna be abbreviated. We'll go to about 12 o'clock still. I'm going to do the lesson early. We'll have some chat after. And the house my acoustics sound so crazy because everything is echoing. I need soundboards or something, some cushions on the wall to absorb the sounds. I think I like this. Do you guys like this? Do you like this better than the minimalist one? This one is pretty cool. I have to say I really do like this. So okay, maybe we'll stick with this. I don't know. We'll this style. So forgive the noise. The windows are open, so the bugs are flying in the house. It's going to get hot this week here in New York. It's supposed to be 90 degrees by the end of the week. I am not ready because I do not function well when temperatures get above 80. 80 is when I begin to melt mentally. So, but yeah, things are progressing. I have to tell you. Yeah, Jazzy said it's an empty apartment. It is. Look, nothing on the shelf. Well, the shelves are gone. Those rods, those brackets are coming off the wall, and yeah, and all the bookcases have been moved. Everything's in the center of the room. And I'm hoping that they get through this process fast, because if they can get through the painting and get it all done by Monday, the whole apartment, then I can stage it on Tuesday. And then the photographers will come in on Wednesday and they will photograph it. And then on Friday or Thursday, or it goes on the market. Next Friday, it may be on the market. Y'all, it's happening. I got butterflies in my stomach. I got butterflies. Kimmy says, hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. So, yeah, y'all, this is happening. It's happening. And I'm excited. Half of me is excited. The other half is like, what the hell are you doing? Now, if someone or I happen to win $1 million, I will stay right here. I would not leave my apartment. I'll travel and this will be my base because I'll have $1 million. So pray that I win $1 million, and then I don't have to move. Hannah says, good morning, Gwendolyn. I'm outside working in my garden today. I have help, so I'm a so-called supervisor today. I will be in and out. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Hannah. I love that you hang out in your garden. She loves her garden. Elise has a garden. Gwendolyn has a garden. Hannah has a garden. Anyone else have a garden? I had a forest. I had a forest. Oh, look, Jazzy says, I'm actively trying to win the lottery without buying a ticket. That sounds like me, Jazzy. I'm always talking about winning the lottery, but I don't really play. I really should play like weekly or whatever, and so I can win. But I was like this. I say, God, if you bless me with $1 million and I win lottery, then I'll stay in this apartment. Then that means you'll let me stay here. You will let me stay in this apartment. And Kimmy says, I do. She plays lottery. And Gwendolyn says, that's me, Jazzy. My dad would say, so how do you plan on winning? So how do you plan on winning? Exactly. Are y'all liking this graphic or the minimal graphic? Let me know. Let me know. You guys are the core people here. You guys are the pillars of this community. Do you like this graphic or do you like the minimal graphic? Do you like that graphic or do you like this graphic? Let me know. If you like this graphic, that's more conservative, minimal, or this graphic. And then there's this one. I think this one or this one. What do y'all think? Which graphic is your favorite? I like these graphics. For some reason, they're big and bold. And it allows me to make you feel like you're a part of the community because now you can see a clear picture of you. If you're on a smartphone, you can see much better this classic look. Okay, let me know. Oh, Adrian's in the building, y'all. Adrian's in the building. He said, ha, ha, ha. And Gwendolyn said, ha, ha, ha. He says, I like the bigger one because I see more auntie. Aww, that's special. That's special. Hey, Bryson's in the building. He says, what's up, Ron? What's up, RLP fam? What's up, everybody? I see you got a clear house. Look, the house is empty. Well, let me see. Let me see. Can you see all that? Look at that. All the house, and I'm finishing up that area, and then the desk area. But yep, it's happening, y'all. It is happening. Sorry about the moves, but I just thought I would like to share that with you guys. It is happening. Okay, Gwendolyn says I like the bigger one too. I may need to change mine. I like the bigger one. I think I'm into the bigger, and I think it has it kind of like works well with the streaming of the comments on the right hand side. I think they kind of like go together. I don't. Am I making sense? Yeah, it really highlights the person that's talking and sharing and being a part of the community. I think it's good. It really highlights the person. Yes, that way I can give you guys some more time. Mr. Adrian's in the building. I can't believe it. Adrian, did you go away yet? Or are you? I know you don't. We'll talk later. But oh man, this has been a process. Let me tell you. So what they're going to end up doing, I was going to pop over to Adrian's, and I still might do it this weekend. I might just say, Adrian, I'm coming by if he's around. But what they're doing is they're going to paint this half of the house. And then since I have a buffer between the hallway and my bedroom, so that the other side of the house will get painted after this side of the house gets painted, which we were able to create a strategy because Ron needed a strategy. And it was good that I was able to stay around because I have a couple of events here in the city this week. I have a big event Friday night. So, and then, oh yeah, I can't go anywhere. I got to be here for these events. This is Photoville weekend. This is Photoville weekend, y'all. All you photographers out there. Are you guys into Photoville? Holy moly. It's Photoville weekend. All you photographers out there, you got to come to New York. And if you love photography, you got to be here. Let me tell you. Let me give them some airtime. Let me give them some airtime. I work on the team with Photoville. Last year, the year before. But this year, because I was in the middle of moving, I said, I can't do it this year. And they were like, we're going to miss you. Oh, we're so sad that you're not going to be there. And I'll be there. I just can't work. I can't work with them this year. So, yeah, this is it. This is Photoville weekend. Check it out. Check it out. I love Photoville. And this is the big weekend because the opening weekend is when they have all of the photographers, they have the workshops, they have interviews, they have talks, they have photo walks. It's going to be a great weekend. So look at this, free workshops. Check out the websites, photoville.com. Well, is it Photoville? Photoville.New York City, NYC. You got the walks, you got the talks, you got all these amazing displays. You have the events going on. Also, Photoville is throughout the city, so you'll see some of the photos in Staten Island. I think this year. Let me make sure before I say something wrong. Let me see the locations. Hold on, let me see the locations before I say it. You got education field trip days. They got the Photoville is probably presenting in partnership with all of these great brands. I'm sure Leica will be there and doing their thing. Yeah, Team Dumbo, to all these places. It's gonna be amazing, y'all. I love it, and I will be broadcasting live from Photoville on Saturday and Sunday. So if you are not in New York City, stay tuned. I will be broadcasting in segments in some of the seminars, the workshops, the photo walks. I will be sharing Photoville this weekend. She says, G says, that's on my wish list, a Leica camera. You know, G, I said the same thing. The Leica camera is just one of those, it's not only just, it's a great camera, but it's also a prestigious camera. Like when you see a photographer with their Leica, you're like, ooh, that's a real photographer. Now, they may not be a real photographer, but we think so because they have the Leica camera. Hey, Fifi's in the building. Fifi, I'm sorry I missed your call yesterday. I know you called me, but I was in the middle of, I was doing so much work here at the house. So I will get back to you, Miss Fifi, and we can talk about things to help your daughter. Well, your daughter wanted to give me information about BAM. Okay, Cass is in the building. Look at that. Cass says, blessed and tenacious Tuesday, Pip Tuesday. And yes, today we are talking about, we're going to revisit a topic that we love because I get this question all the time. What camera should I buy as a beginner? That's what we're going to talk about today because I get that question more than any other question as a photographer. Okay, I see here. Bryson's saying, well, Kim, he can get the Blu-ray and 4K on July 8th. What are they talking about? What are they talking about? G says they spent real money on it, but you can be a hobbyist. Yes. Do you know D Nice has a Leica? D Nice has a couple of Leicas, and he was in the opening 2 years ago. D Nice people in our building, in the our community, our what do you call it? La 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 la. Yeah, I see it. My brain froze there. Gwendolyn, I think your singing when your brain freeze is a good thing. La 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 la. Yeah. So, but anyways, for those that follow D Nice in the community, he does have a Leica camera. So anyway, go to Photoville, go to the webpage, check it out. It's going to be a great weekend here in New York City. So do that. Also, Kimmy says CQ. I was like, la, 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 la. The G says the glass on Leica cameras are yummy. See, only a photographer could say that. The glass, which means the lens. For those that don't know what the glass means, the glass, photographers call lenses the glass. So, and Gwendolyn says the glass on Leica cameras are yummy. Only a photographer will call a lens yummy. Janet's in the building. What's up, Janet? She says, greetings, Touch Space Daily family. What's going on? She's back in the saddle. And so good. We're going to go right into lesson time, and then we'll chat after. Like I said, I need to get ready. I am going to see, after I leave here, the reason I got up at 5 o'clock this morning to do all of this, I had to finish. I started yesterday, and then I'll get back to shredding. I got shredding to do. And but I am, after this, getting myself together to see Mission Impossible in IMAX. So I'll be heading to the city to see IMAX Mission Impossible. I cannot wait to see it. So I'm already off to a movie summer, right? Movie summer. I had Sinners a couple of weeks ago, and now it's going to be Mission Impossible. Oh, Anthony says Mission Impossible was amazing. And he also says, good morning. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go with the big banner. I think I like this. I like the larger banners for you guys' comments. I like it better. I think I'm with Gwendolyn and Adrian. Anyone else supports changing our talk and comment banner to the larger one versus the minimalistic one? Cass says, enjoy. Nice enjoy. Bryson says, you seen Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Anthony, how you like it? He says he likes it. He says it was amazing. Y'all, okay. Are y'all ready for the lesson of the day? What camera should I buy as a beginner? So we're gonna move through this. We've already done this with some folks, but it's always worth repeating because some folks don't know how. They get confused. I have three. My cousin called me a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and said, "Yo, cuzzo, what kind of camera should I buy?" I get this question, like I said, more than any question when it comes to people asking me as a photographer, what camera should I buy as a beginner? And Fifi says, Mission Impossible and Shadow Force today for my day off treat. Nice. What are you talking about? Gee, you know Ron forgets. Well, what am I forgetting? Anthony says, I said I like the large one the last time. You did it. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I think we're all here. We're all here. And if you're in the building, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes. And so we can now get to the lesson. We can get straight to the lesson. All you folks out there, all you inspiring photographers. Here we go. Here's a detailed breakdown of how we can address the question, what camera should I buy as a beginner, in an engaging and informative way? Introduction. Okay, so this is when we take off our little beta. Introduction. Welcome. Choosing the right camera for beginners is important. This video will cover DSLRs, mirrorless cameras, and smartphone options. The best camera depends on budget, interests, and in those interests as portraits, landscapes, or vlogging, and for future goals. I ask, when people ask me this question, I ask them all these questions. How long you been photographing? What would you like to photograph? What kind of photography would you like? Where are you traveling to with your camera? Does it need to be lightweight? Does it need to be, just a regular camera? Does it need to be a pocket camera? Does it need to be, are you a TikToker, right? Adrian says, according to TikTok. According to TikTok, yeah. So I should buy a Sony A7 III. Got it. It's a good camera. Ooh, wait a minute. Does my son have a good camera? Holy moly. A Sony A7 III? Well, anyway, I'm a Nikon person. And we got people in here that are Canon folks. So, wow, Adrian has a real professional, a real camera. Wow, did not know that. Oh, we gotta go on some camera missions, sir. We got some camera outings coming up. Anthony says, I say it should be based on budget. Once you establish budget, do research based on what photography you want to engage in and rent before you buy. Whoa, Anthony, are you part of this lesson? Come on in here. Yes, right. This is very key. I say it should be based on budget. A lot of people cannot afford those big cameras that cost $5,000, $4,000, $3,000, $2,000, even the $1,000, right? But budget, they would be cutting the grass. Can you guys hear the grass cutting? I hope not. Anyway, it's a loud day here in the neighborhood. Derek is in the building. He says hello. And Gwendolyn says, yes, rent before you buy. Great advice, Anthony. And as a matter of fact, it was Gwendolyn that taught me this method, because when Gwendolyn went out to get her Canon when she was here in New York, she played with a lot of toys before she bought her camera. Am I correct, Gwendolyn? I remember you renting before buying. And that's a good rule of thumb with a lot of equipment, especially expensive equipment. If you're going to drop 2Ks on a camera, you need to practice with a camera that doesn't belong. We say, well, if it's the right feel. Some cameras are thicker and some cameras are smaller. Some cameras are made for small hands. Some cameras are made for big hands. Yes. G says, yes, I rent it and will rent for the project. Exactly. Hey, Kelly A's in the building. She says, good morning, everyone. Make sure y'all hit those likes. Make sure you hit the likes. Jazzy says, Anthony Rowland, 1000% agree about renting. Rent and then buy. Nice one. Love that. Okay, next slide. Here we go. Key factors to controlling. Key factors to consider. The most important factors beginners should think about is one. There it is. Like Anthony said, the number one on the list is budget. Entry-level cameras range from $300 to $1,000. That may be going up now that we have tariffs. So then you want to think about the type of photography. That's what Anthony said also. Portraits, landscapes, streets, vlogging, etc. If the grass cutting is, you can hear the grass cutting, I'll pause and then close the windows. So let me know. Let me know. I may have to close the windows if you can't hear me. Type of photography. Again, portraits, landscape, street photography, vlogging, excursion. You're a cruiser. You like to go on cruises. What kind of camera you would like for travel? I should have included travel photography. Thank you, Adrian. Here's the next one. Ease of use. Use friendly interfacings and automatic modes. Automatic modes. Easy to use. So hold on a second, guys. I got to put the windows down. Sorry. Hold on a moment. I can move around the house a lot easier. I don't know why they're cutting the grass today. Oh, nice. Oh. They don't usually cut the grass until Wednesday. Don't know why they're doing it today. Anyway, I'm back. Sorry about that interruption. Kaz says, insightful tip. Camera rentals. Are there certain known places to rent them from? Yes. Most camera stores are like really legitimate camera stores. Not one of these camera stores that have like, sometimes you got places in Manhattan and in New York City and they sell all the touristy stuff, but then they do sell cameras too. Not that kind of place. You want to go to a camera store where professional camera, photographers go. So most will rent out the cameras so that way you can get a feel for them. Okay, there you have it. G says, Kaz, my favorite is Lens Pro 2 Go and Adorama. And then, believe it or not, here's another thing that people don't know about camera stores. Like, I go to Adorama a lot because it's smaller. It's not as big as B&H. I find more intimacy there as a photographer. And also, I know a lot of people at the store. Because if you go to a smaller photography venue, you get to know the workers, the staff, the people, the security guards. You get to know the people and you build a relationship with them. That's one of the reasons why I go to Adorama. Now, I do shop at B&H, but I live in Adorama. One is also Adorama has a lot of classes. But before we go there, definitely know what kind of photography you want to do. And Kaz, my favorite is Lens Pro 2 Go and Adorama. And I do believe Adorama, when you rent, they will also rent as send it to you. So you don't have to live in New York. My buddy used to live in Delaware, and he used to rent equipment from Adorama. I think he rented from B&H, and they would send him the camera. He would get to use it, play with it, and then he would send it, package it up, and send it back. Yeah. So some camera companies will do that. There is another camera company that I follow. I forgot their name. They're in my feed, but on my photography page, they're in Canada, a Canada photography store. Also, G says Adorama has a great YouTube channel too. Exactly. Adorama is my favorite. Okay. So the next one is future proofing, ability to upgrade lenses and accessories. Can I say that again? Future proofing, the ability to upgrade lenses and accessories. So you want, for instance, I have Nikon. Gwendolyn has a Canon. Some people have Leicas. Some people have Sonys. The reason why we take and spend the extra money on those brands and brands like them is because they're always thinking about the future proofing. Future proofing. What does that mean? That means if I have my Nikon is in the back there. If I have my Nikon, and I bought my Nikon, which I did, I bought Nikons when they had the DSLRs. So I had lots of DSLRs. I had 2 DSLRs. And then they moved into having mirrorless cameras. And then I bought a Nikon. And then I was able to they have what's called adapters. So I can use my old lenses with the new camera. And they calibrate the extensions and all that other stuff that it matches. So you don't have to throw away all those lenses, because lenses are the most expensive part of your photography. Once you get you spend money on your body, but you spend real money on your lenses. And what's the other word we call lenses, says Gwendolyn? The glass. You spend money on your glass. We're going to talk like photographers around here. Spend money on the glass. I remember an old timer telling me, Ron, don't get so caught up in the bodies. Bodies will come and go, but make sure you have good glass. Good glass. That's what he used to tell me. Older gentleman at Adorama. G says Lens Pro 2 ships all over, and they include a blow pop with each order. Really? Did not know that. Anthony says, marry your lenses and date your bodies. Oh, these are photographers are speaking here today, y'all. Photographers are speaking today. You hear what Anthony and Gwendolyn are co-hosting this lesson. They are giving you great information. Jot it down. Write it down. Anthony, I gotta say that one again. That's what the old timer told me. The same quote. He said, marry your lenses and date your bodies. The dates will come and go, but that marriage will be with you for a long time. I have all my old lenses. One I have to upgrade because I've had it so long. But I still have my old lenses with my new mirrorless camera. And they work properly. They function. I love them. But the whole basis of me getting the Nikon, or my friends who get the Canon, or my friends that get the Sonys, or the Leicas, and I can go on, but those, because of future proofing, the ability to upgrade lenses and accessories. The next one is also size and portability. Remember I was talking about when we were doing an overview real quick, the size. Some people have small hands. Some people have big hands. Some people's hands they can stretch across and get the buttons right. Some buttons are in the front. Some buttons are on top. Some buttons are on the back. You have to figure out what camera is comfortable for your hands, right? Because some photographers, even though it's not practiced all the time, but some really skilled photographers will roam through a crowd and just take the camera with one hand and take the shot. Now, if that camera is too big, they can't do it. If that camera is too big for their hands, then they can't do it. So depending on what kind of photography, so a lot of street photographers will dodge and burn, as they say, that's an editing term, but they will dodge in and dodge out of crowds and take pictures with one hand. Click, 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 and then move on. Click, 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 move on. Street photographers. Some of the great photographers. One hand. Pop, pop, pop. Street assassins. Camera-wise. Love it, says Cass. She says she loves it. Okay, next one. Best beginner cameras. Entry-level DSLRs. Canon EOS. Rebel T7. Now they got some new ones that are out also. So, but these are the most recent since when I created this slide presentation. EOS 2000D, affordable, great for learning the basics, good for still photography and casual video. That's another thought. Some folks want their cameras not only for photo taking, but for videography, for videos. They want to take pictures. They want to, videotape the life of their children. Let's say one of my colleagues, I won't say friends, but colleagues I met in this journey. She's what I call one of the star photographers when it comes to wedding photography. She's a master. She's photographed her list of clients is the giants and all these celebrities. And you know how she got her start? Is that she had just got married and her husband knew that she liked taking pictures. And so they were on their hunt. I do believe the story she says they were on their honeymoon or on vacation. And he bought her first real camera so they can videotape and take pictures of each other, and so she could take pictures of the places that they're going. And her hobby became her job. Now she's one of the most sought after photographers in America, all because a husband gave her a camera so they can videotape and photograph the love for one another. Here's another camera, Nikon's D3500s. The excellent image quality, user-friendly guide mode, lightweight, and great for beginners. Now, that also is subjective. Because what kind of beginner are you? Are you a beginner that just wants to be a hobbyist? Or are you a beginner that wants to one day make a career out of it? You got to have those questions. Because you might want to order, the D3500 is a crop. Without going into all the jargon, it's a crop camera. D3500. I do believe, I'm not sure how the Canons go, but I know Nikon's, the 4 digits are usually crop cameras. They're crops. They have a parameter. However, the single digits and the double digits in Nikon are full. Like you get a full image. They're not cropped, but they're full cameras. Full. Okay. G says The Canon Rebel lineup is a good start. Anthony says, entry-level cameras have come a long way. They now have the stats of what has a mid-level camera. Exactly. These are not your grandma cameras or grandpa. That's how I got my start in photography. My grandfather had all these cameras around and gave them to my father, and I used to play with them. Yeah, that's how I became interested in cameras. Okay, entry-level mirrorless cameras. Sony Alpha A6 100. Fast autofocus, compact, and great for both photos and video. Ideal for vloggers and hybrid shooters. That means those that do both. Canon EOS M50 Mark II. I do believe this is a full-frame camera. Is that, if someone let me know, I think is the M50 are 2 digits in Canon full frames? Anyone, all you Canon folks out there, is the the double-digit number a full-frame camera? Versatile, easy to use, and great for vlogging. Good selection of lenses for beginners. Anthony says, with Nikon, it varies. The D850 is full frame, and the D500 is a APS crop. Really? I did not know. The D500 is a crop sensor, a crop camera. I did not know that. The D850, the D800, the Ds. So yeah, so there's threes. The threes, the twos, and the ones are mostly full frame. But now I realize I'm hearing there's a D500 is a APS-C. I don't know exactly what an APS-C is. Yes, I don't know everything. Okay. G says most of the Canon EOS mirrorless cameras are full frame. So when I for many, many years, I had the Nikon D5200. And that was a crop camera. And one beautiful day, I put my camera in my bag, and I was, okay, it is a crop sensor, okay. And I was riding city bikes. That city bikes had just come out here in New York City. And I put my backpack on the handlebars in the front. And I zipped around a corner, and my bag flew off the bike and went crashing to the ground. And my D5200 met its demise. And it died a horrible death. It cracked up. It was all cracked up. The insides were cracked up. And so that forced me to rethink what kind of camera I wanted for my next camera. And so I ended up with this D650, I think D650. And it was a new entry camera with a full frame. And man, when I got a full frame camera, woo, it changed my life forever. It was the full frame camera that made me like, ooh, this is delicious. This is when I take pictures with the full frame, ooh, there's a different feel from the crop. So you need to, again, rent a full frame camera and rent a crop camera to figure out which one you like the best. But I will tell you, once you go full, you don't go back to crop. Maybe. Fuji has some great crop sensor cameras. Really, they don't have any full frames. So I've been told Fuji does not have full frames. They have only crop. So again, ask lots of questions. Remember our topic yesterday? Ask questions. Ask questions. I'm glad you guys are participating. Again, hit the likes if you're here. Kimmy says, so when you say full frame, then that type of camera does not crop. Exactly. It like a crop sensor has you can see it has a parameter, like it's it's like a, it's like me framing something. It lives within a frame. The full frame camera is like, whoa, you can adjust it. It's wide, it's full. You get everything your eyeball sees is what you're gonna get in the camera. I mean, according to, if you depend on how you're zooming in and out, but what you see with your eyeballs is what you see in the camera. It's not cropped. It's not framed. Am I saying that right? Does that make sense? Gwendolyn says, and this is why getting a gently used camera from a camera rental store is a steal. Don't sleep on gentle used camera gear. Can we talk about that? When I started my photography journey, remember I told you about Seth. Remember Seth was in the building yesterday? I would run up to Adorama every lunchtime to learn about photography. Every day at lunchtime. If there was a class, Ron was there. And one of the lessons I learned is, Ron, you're new to the game. Don't be all into the gear. Gear is good, but it's the photographer behind the gear that makes the picture. That's one. So go and buy a used camera. You will save so much money, because a lot of times, when you go to camera stores, like real camera stores, many photographers will go and buy a product and they say, don't like it. And then they return it. And it's a brand new camera. But the store sells it as an out-of-box camera, like open box. It was somebody used it, or say the camera box was open, so someone touched it. It was used between the manufacturer and you and the product going back on the shelf. All of my gear in the beginning was used cameras, used bodies, used lens. And then at Adorama, they have these like ratings. So you can get an E+, an E-, and they had all these like grades of used camera and camera lenses. And I would go in all the time and say, I want an E+. That means excellent, excellent. But they would have these letters. They had these like, and you can go in their system and find the cameras that were used or new and brought back to the store, or were owned by great photographers that love. Because most photographers that are photographers, their cameras are their babies and they don't abuse them, right? Unless you're a safari photographer. Unless you're a wildlife photographer, then you may, I'm not a wildlife photographer, but I've done wildlife photography. And let me tell you, your camera will get beat down as a wildlife photographer. Okay, so I see here, Anthony says crop is good if you need the reach. For Nikon, it's 1.5 times the focal length. Ooh, that may be too deep, Anthony, but there are some people that understand. Yeah. Fifi says, I'm learning so much today. That's what we do here. G says, yes, it's about the aspect ratio, full frame versus crop sensor. Yes. And we could do a whole class on full frame versus crop sensor. Maybe that's something we'll talk about next week. Can we? Okay, I'll put a pin in that one. Full frame versus crop sensor. That may be something good to talk about. Anthony says, I only own one lens I bought new. I only own. You know what? I'm with you, Anthony. I only have one lens that I bought. No. I changed it. I bought two brand new lenses because you know what new lens is hard to get used? Is an 85 millimeter lens. You have to buy it new because most people do not trade it in. Most people do not give up their 85 millimeter. So it is the hardest lens to find used. So I had to buy 85 millimeter. I also bought a brand new 35 millimeter that came with my new lens. 35 millimeter is great for street photography. There's so much to go into. There's so much to talk about. Kimmy says, thanks, Anthony and Gwen. I'm always tinkering with buying a camera, but haven't done it so yet. I will definitely check out used when I do. Good job, y'all. Look at this conversation. I love this conversation. I hope people are enjoying this conversation. This is worth it. And Anthony said, I just bought a used 1424 millimeter f2.8 for less than $600. That's less than a half of what it costs new. Don't sleep on used. Used is the best way to buy your camera, especially if you want to move into something big. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. Gwendolyn says that should be a lesson, Ron. A 50 millimeter lens is not 50 millimeters on a crop sensor camera. Let's talk about, well, we're not going to talk about that today, but look at that. This is a great subject. Full frame versus 50 millimeter. Hey, Anthony, would you like to teach this class? I'm just saying. Let's rethink some things about Touch Base Daily. How about some of these Tip Tuesdays? You guys can speak to and share and teach. I just had a brain moment. Not a brain fart, but a brain moment. Yes. Let's let the experts be the experts. Gwendolyn is great. Anthony, you guys are great in this subject matter. How about we talk about you guys doing the lesson? And I think that would be a good idea. Anyway, just a thought. It was a thought. And he says, G, right, that's 75 millimeters. Man, we got a community here. This is a photography and creative community. Why not use all of our resources, which is all of us, right? You don't need just me. Oh, Anthony says, sure, I'll do it. Which one would you want to do? Do you want to do full frame versus crop? I like that idea. Cass says, a light bulb moment. Yes, it was a light bulb moment. Janet says, bought a bunch of used cameras. Yes. G says, I'm down. Because these are great educators. Anthony can speak and teach. Gwendolyn can speak and teach. This is who they are. They are teachers. Okay, this lesson. I didn't know it was going to take, we're taking our time with this lesson today, right? This is a good lesson class, a good day. Budget-friendly options, Fujifilm X-T200, stylish, lightweight, and excellent color production, great for hobbyists who want a fun, retro-style camera. This camera right here was hard to get. There was a back order on this camera. So many people like it because it looks like an old camera. Let me make sure I'm talking the right one. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure, because this camera looks like an old camera. And a lot of people were loving this camera because they, a lot of preppy kids here, a lot of young adults, a lot of yuppies here in New York City. Let me make sure it's the right one. Hold on. Maybe I may have the wrong one. Let me see. Yes, it's the T20. Okay, here we go. So this particular camera, I'm just going to show it off. Just show it off. And let me just go back into this frame. G, real quick. Okay. Why is that? Okay, here we go. I'm going to pack that up now. I'm going to back this up. Escape and go backwards. Okay. But I wanted to go in here and go to Google. There we go. That's how we do it. Because this is an interesting camera. And I just wanted to, it's more, like I said, people love it for just its look because it's like retro. Here we go. Let me remove that and then put that there. There we go. Oops. Oh, did I put it in the wrong window? Oh, it opened up in the wrong window. Okay. I gotta go back. Sorry, my bad. Here we go. I gotta take this one off. Okay, here we go. Stop sharing that one and then present this one. Okay. There's a better way to do these things. Here we go. So this camera looks like an old-fashioned camera. And people love this camera. And again, Fuji cameras are cropped cameras. And this one is one that people hang around their neck in New York City. Has a little small lens, and they just kind of like walk around. This is the XT20. Yeah. So, and there's a whole series like this with the Fujis. Okay. But that is where people are like, oh, yeah, it's kind of cool. It's cool to have. And it was on back order last year October was, and there's a new version coming out, and then it was like back ordered and you couldn't get it. It was so hard to find. It's right. It's called the hipster camera. The hipsters love the X. Yep, it's the hipsters camera. And New York City has a lot of hipsters. You go to Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and you see this camera around a lot of folks' necks. Yes, New York City has lots of hipsters, and they live in Williamsburg. Also, Anthony says the Nikon ZF is another amazing retro styled camera. The only thing I didn't like about the ZF is that it felt plastic. It felt a little bit like it was plastic. It didn't have a camera. Now, the Fuji one has like I think it's a metal body. And so it feels more like a camera. But I think the Nikon was a little more, it just felt like it was, and I don't know if it was fully plastic, but it was not fully metal. So, yeah. That was one of the only Nikons that I did not like. Sorry, Nikon. I have all my other Nikons, but that one I was like, maybe not. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to class. Let's get back to class. Hold on a second. Here we go. And the next one is Panasonic Lumix G7. Affordable 4K video and good for beginners interested in videography. So all the ones that like to be on YouTube, YouTubers, TikTokers, Panasonic Lumix G7. Okay. Smartphone photography. Modern smartphones, e.g. iPhone 15 Pro, Samsung Galaxy S24. Now you have the X25. Google Pixel 8 can be great starting points for beginners. It has convenience, portability, and advanced computational photography features. Never sleep on the smartphone. The smartphone has many capabilities. Lenses and accessories. Lenses are just as important as the camera body. We said that before. I recommend starting with a kit lens, usually 18 to 55 millimeter for DSLRs or mirrorless, or a prime lens, example, at 50 millimeter, f1.8. sees almost exactly like your eye. For better low light performances and bokeh. Yes, that's that 1.8. Here are some essential accessories. Memory cards. Do I have any around here? No. Oh yeah, here's a memory card. Here's a memory card. These little guys. These are, I mean, this is for a mirrorless. This is a faster card, but there's all types of memory cards. One of my favorite companies is SanDisk. I love SanDisk. I came up backwards, but you know what I'm saying. This is one of my favorite, and I also use Lexar. Those are also my favorite SD cards. Those two, I only use those two. Once in a while, I'll use another brand, but it's going to be SanDisk or Lexar. Okay. Let's see. Got those in there fast, right? Because those have faster writing speeds. Extra batteries. Always have extra batteries in your pocket or in your camera bag. A basic camera bag or strap. I got lots of bags for my camera. I'm going to a business event. Oh, is it down here? I already put my camera bags away. I thought it was under my desk. It's not. But I have different camera bags because obviously I work as a photographer. So there's certain events that I have to use my different bags. And the reason why, because one bag I may have to hold with me all the time, but it needs to look good. It needs to look professional instead of having it on my back as a backpack. Now, if I'm in the street doing street photography, like photographing an event, like a concert, then I may have my backpack on me because then I can pull out my lenses and change my lenses and all that stuff real quick and then do my thing. But know the bag you need for what you are going to be photographing and where you're going to be photographing. Anthony says, Fuji cameras have a natural film look to their photos. Yes, they do. That's why people love the Fuji camera, for that natural film look. Anthony also said, I did a post on extra batteries yesterday. There you go. Anthony, we got to have you on here more talking more lessons. More lessons. More lessons. More lessons. Okay, tips for beginners. We're going to get through this, y'all. We're going to get through this. We're almost done. Tips for beginners. Start with automatic modes and gradually learn manual settings. Practice, let me put this off the screen. Practice composition techniques, rule of thirds, leading lines, etc. Don't get overwhelmed by gear. I'll say it again. Don't get overwhelmed by gear. Focus on learning and creativity. Don't be that person. We used to have classes at Adorama or at B&H here in New York or Sony. They would have classes, and it was always that one student. There was always that one person in the class that is so concerned about the gear. And I'm like, dude, calm down. And we'll ask, what lens are you using? What this is using? And how many? And what company? And do you? I mean, and you're like, dude, you're a bad nerd. You're a bad photographer nerd. Stop. You need to learn how to use the camera. Have techniques. Know the techniques. Know your composition. Know how your camera works. Know it. Know your craft. It's not think. I just want you to just really think about this. I didn't mean to go into these, but we're having a good class day. Remember all those when you look in the great books and magazines and you see all these amazing photos, those photos weren't taken with the latest camera. They were photographed 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago. And those pictures are beautiful. Stop with the gear. Now, gear has its place, but it's all about the photographer. Next idea. Join photography communities. Join a meetup group. Join a YouTube channel. Follow people on YouTube. There's a lot of great people on YouTube. You can follow and learn. Learn your craft. You have YouTube University right at your hands while you're on the train, while you're in the car. You get stuck and you're like, oh, I don't know, but what's this button for on my Canon? All you got to do is go on Google and YouTube, it'll lead you to YouTube and it will take you to a class on your buttons for your Canon. I was tutoring a student and she had a Canon camera. I had an Nikon, but I still had to teach. I was teaching her composition, teaching her all these other things, but I had to know her camera. So what did I do? As a good teacher, as a good tutorer, I had to learn the Canon camera so I can communicate with her. Where's her aperture button? Where's her shutter button? Where is changes and all that other stuff? But it was all at my hands by going to YouTube and Google. Yes, y'all. Maximize and master what you have, says Anthony. Jazzy says, YouTube is your friend. There you go. Join a meetup group. Join groups. In conclusion, top recommendations are based on different needs and budgets. Please feel free to comment with your questions or share what camera you're using. Upcoming videos, what is the exposure triangle? Well, that was for that class before. We won't be doing the exposure triangle. Well, we should. I mean, that was really good. You know who's really good with exposure triangle? I think it's Gwendolyn. Aren't you something you love to do? So anyway, y'all, that's it. I hope you learned something today. I hope you learned something today. We spent some real good quality time in learning today because this is such an important subject. I can't tell you how many, like I said, I say it over again, how many people ask me the same question. How do I pick a camera? How do I buy a camera? What can I do to buy a camera? What should I know? Well, now you got all this information. This is your launching pad. This is your launching pad. Now go out and get a new camera. No. When I say new, I don't mean new officially. Get a camera that you love. Get a camera that you enjoy. Go get a used camera. I should say, go get a used camera, all you beginners. Right? You don't have to come out into the streets and into the world with brand new stuff. Okay. Any questions? Any statements? Any thoughts? Fifi says, hit the likes, please, y'all. Hit the likes. Yeah. Hit the likes. G says, yeah, I can do that again. G says, I'm in the nail chair now. Janet says, I use whatever camera I have at the moment. Isn't that the philosophy? What's the best camera you have? What's the best camera, dear sister or man? And the person responds, the best camera, the camera I have on me. That's your best camera. The camera you have on you. And Cassie says, now they can like, subscribe, share, and reply to. Exactly. And if you want to hit the little $sign and send some cha-ching change, you could do that too. YouTubers. You can go cha-ching. And, but anything, just go out there and enjoy. That's why we have a community here. So you can enjoy learning about photography. I do like full frame versus crop. I can learn more about that one. So Anthony, you may have to put on the calendar for next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, you might have the show, sir. I'll be like, go ahead, Antonio. You got it. Any other questions? Any other suggestions? Anything else? Again, hit the likes. Also, we got to do my banner thing. We got to do the banner thing. Here we go. Make sure you join my email list today. Go to ronlewisphotos.com and get on the email list. So that way, if I need to reach out to you or want to send you something, you can get those verifications and get those notices. Okay. Also, if you know someone that's looking for an event photographer, I do event photography. I specialize in event photography. I photograph for corporations here in New York. And so if you know someone that needs a corporate photographer or even just a personal family photographer for an event, give them my number and so they can reach out to me. Also, again, we want to thank our Patreon members for their support. Helps us create amazing content. And I love our Patreon community because you make this happen. And if you want to become a Patreon person in the community and you want to support financially, join the Patreon community. Also, this month is June. So you know what that means? Some of you guys will be getting a download, a photo download. So some of you in the upper levels of the Patreon community that support, and you really give a lot, you give a lot of money and you also support what we do here, you will be getting a download in the month of June at the end of the month because we do that halfway in the year. Also, Photograph Your World, Virtual Basic Photography 101. Fun tutoring using your camera model, creative instructions, and learning at your pace. Available in-person tutoring in New York City. So if you are looking for lessons, you want one-on-one time virtually, reach out to me. I am here for you. Yes, I will charge you, but yes, you will learn. Okay, there you have it. There you have it. I think we got it all. We're all squared away. Great lessons today. Thanks, Anthony and Gwendolyn. They were the co-hosts. And Anthony says, some of my favorite photos were shot with my entry-level DSLR and Canon point and shoot. Absolutely. My point and shoot is always in my bag, even on professional jobs, just in case I need to use it. Anthony says, I got to get my lesson plan together. Yes, Anthony. I'm excited. I am excited to hand over the reins of this program, our community, so that people can learn from each other. I think this is a great idea that you guys will share and teach. Jazzy says, a lot of great information today. Great information. Okay, guys, I got to get ready to get to the city because you know what awaits me. Dum, 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 dum. Mission Impossible. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, enough, right? Oh, I got carried away. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I'm just being wacky here. Okay, guys, forgive me. Pray for my strength as I come back home and do more house cleaning later on and getting ready for the painters tomorrow. The painters will be here tomorrow. And I don't know where I will be sharing from. Will we be in a restaurant tomorrow or will we be in my bedroom? We're going to figure it out tomorrow, but I will be here tomorrow for our Touch Base Daily and our water cooler conversation tomorrow. And he's laughing at me. So enjoy. Thank you for joining in. And again, hit the likes, and share this video with your friends. Share the highest the highest accolade you can give someone that's online is to share their work. So share. Okay, guys, have a great day. Love you. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.